It's semi-finals and finals time here for round one of the America's Rallycross Championships ARX2 class. Those guys are doing a double header here at Mid-Ohio for the first weekend of the season. Barkey, we've seen some great racing in ARX2 as well as ARX. Of course, ARX don't get to do their semis and finals till tomorrow. These guys have got a whole race day today. They're tired now, and they've got to get it together again for the semis and the final.
Yeah, I went and talked to JR Hildebrand. He was super excited, but his main problem is that he's so tall, his legs are so long, that he's having a hard time being all like, he's not able to kind of like get the right pressure on the gas pedal and stuff. You know, when you're all, your knees bent too much.
Yeah, when you're all bent up in the car. Totally
so
understand.
he's modulating that issue.
Okay, interesting. I've seen Sage Karam. He's all excited about driving on gravel as well. But if you've missed the qualifying so far today, this is how we've got to where we are. So Fraser McConnell won the first two sessions of the day. He didn't have such a good run in Q3, but that sees him as the TQ man for round one. Alex Keys in second place, then it's Sage Karam, Cole Keats, Brad DeBerti, JR Hildebrand and Gray Ledbetter. The odds go to semi-final one, the evens go to semi-final two. Now, if you're familiar with the Rallycross format, you'll know that the top three go through. So yes, the guys in semi-final two are in the clear. Whereas obviously in semi-final one, if somebody were to get a puncture, somebody's not going to make it basically from semi-final one. Only 6 cars go through to the final. It's worth remembering that if you want to win the final, you're going to need to start, I think, on the front row, especially with the potential for dust here, Bucky. So, although the semi-finals, there isn't so much danger of people not making it through, the dust means you want to be front row, surely.
You definitely want to be front row. They did just water the track, so I don't think it's going to be an issue for this first heat. It might be an issue for the second. I know they're not going to water the track in between heats to keep it fair. So,
but by the time they get to the final, it could be dried out, couldn't it? So it could be really, really tricky indeed. So James is down there with Alex Keys, who is on pole in semi-final two. It's going to have a catch-up with James Rimmer and Alex Keys.
I'm here with Alex Keys, who is pole for semi-final two. What's your strategy going out there?
I guess go out and win.
Yeah, of course. But tell me a little bit about what you're trying to do out there. Are you focusing on anything? Is it the dirt or the tarmac? What are you really trying to focus on out there to clean up a little bit?
I think the biggest thing is getting clean air, because with all the dust, if you're behind someone, the only way you know where you're going is seeing their brake lights. And then you look out the passenger side window and then you see where you're going. So clean air is worth a lot.
Yeah, the dust seems to have gotten really bad. I saw you have to slow down a little bit in there sometimes, huh?
Yeah, as soon as you get clean air, it's like you can finally breathe and get going and get your flow on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it seems to have gotten worse over the day. So hopefully, they said they aren't going to water it, but they want to keep it even for both. So hopefully they can figure out the dust so you guys don't have to keep backing off.
Yeah, right on. Gotta do what we gotta do.
Thanks, Alex.
Well, we are pretty much ready to go racing. You see the cars pulling up to the grid. Check out those LEDs at the top of each of those ARX logos. When they go green, the car is in exactly the right position to get launched down towards turn one. 4 cars in semi-final number 1. Fraser McConnell, the top qualifier for round 1. Sage Karam alongside. Brilliant performance from the single-seater racer moving across to Rallycross this weekend. Brad DeBerti, big smiles in his picture and big smiles all weekend. He's absolutely loving his Rallycross debut. Gray Ledbetter in P4 looking to make it through to the final. So McConnell has had great starts, Bucky. Looks like he's been kicking the clutch off the line. He's going to see what he can do here against Karam. Karam said to me just a few moments ago he thinks he's got the pace to be the quickest of all of them out there, but he wants to get a good start. He's really been struggling with the dust. We'll talk that through once we've seen the start. Here we go. Watch for DeBerti on the back row in the middle of those two. It's McConnell versus Karam on the run to turn 1. Oh, great start, Karam. Best start he's had all day. So Karam with a great start, but not quite so good as McConnell. McConnell gets the whole shot up to turn 1. Track looking a little bit damp, a little bit dusty combination of the two. McConnell moves the car around nicely into turn 2. So it is McConnell from Karam, and then it's DeBerti and Ledbetter.
Yeah, it looked like Sage got the jump, but didn't quite get it into second gear as good as McConnell did.
Yeah, tidy starts from Fraser, isn't it? They're tricky things. They don't quite have enough grunt. You know, a supercar, you just spin it up. With these cars, it can bog, Bucky, and that's hard to judge, especially when it's uphill like it is here.
Yeah, the start is slightly uphill, so you got to go up on the RPMs. And when the car does come around and does, you know, when you're launching it, the tires are spinning. But going uphill, they tend to grip a lot sooner than the engine kind of wants it to, you know, so it kind of catches at a bad time and kind of stalls out on the hill.
So McConnell is under pressure from Karam. Ledbetter went joker on lap 1. She's going to hope to catch up to the back of the pack. 14 years old, absolutely brilliant. She said yesterday that she didn't really see age as any barrier at all. And she's certainly got great experience of racing on the dirt. Fraser McConnell with some brilliant experience with these machines this year in ARX2. I know he'd love to take the W here. Sage Karam goes joker. That's interesting. So Karam's gone joker now. Got to watch out though, Bucky. That he doesn't come out behind DeBerti. Yeah, he stays tight, doesn't he?
Stays really tight.
Tidy. Look at that. Out in front of DeBerti, and DeBerti was only 2 seconds back. So you can do a joker then. It looks like in under the 2. In fact, but yeah.
If you're Sage.
Yeah, if you're Sage, yeah. Well, because we saw him make that mega pass up the inside earlier on the tarmac up there. For me, you know, most of the drivers are letting the car run out wide and then pulling it in tight for the apex, whereas Sage seems to hold that tight line all the way through the corner.
What I'm guessing what he's doing is the fact that a lot of these guys are probably really, really heavy on the right foot, giving it a lot of gas because they feel like that's probably the faster pace. But I bet you he's lifting a little bit just to keep the car on the inside and not letting it wind out like the other guys.
And Fraser's gone joker, so Fraser goes joker. This is to defend from Karam, who he knows is quick on the inside. Fraser McConnell going to come round, but Karam's gone super fast on that last lap, and Karam takes the lead. So Fraser McConnell now has to race with Sage Karam. He's got to try and find a way past on the track. He's dropped it on the brakes. He's up the inside. Oh, Sage Karam's going to cut across the corner. Stewart's going to get involved in that 100%, Bucky.
Yeah.
Karam's going to go down the inside into the last corner. He's having none of that. McConnell's going to try and get the cut back on the exit. Or did McConnell give the position back there? I mean, that's hard to say.
I feel McConnell maybe got it by being over-aggressive on Sage's rear, which caused Sage to miss that chicane.
So there are bits of this track, aren't there, where Karam looks quicker than McConnell, but then there are bits like there where McConnell looked quicker. You know, they've obviously got bits, aren't they, where they're gaining and losing. Karam was concerned yesterday about the gravel, and he said to me just a minute ago on the pre-grid, do you know what, it feels more like driving in the rain than I thought it would. He feels like it's like driving wet tarmac, and it's a different sensation, but I kind of know where he comes from.
And as a fast guy that he is, that's exactly how you would relate it.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like. It's like driving in the wet.
Yeah, changing your braking positions, feeling for when you lock a wheel, isn't it?
Styles.
Yeah.
You can see, here's probably a perfect example of two different drivers. Oh, he's broken. Front right is broken on Sage.
So
front
contact
right.
again. You think he's going to into this last corner. Fraser's up the inside again. So Sage Karam, Bucky thinks he's got a problem with the front right corner of the car. Well, I'm not sure if he didn't. What do you think? Is a broken toe link, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure how he's still steering it, but I saw it move around on the right that he took there.
Well, whatever happened down at the bottom of the hill, Sage Karam with locked wheels. Would be interesting to see again. That's probably it's definitely the biggest braking zone, isn't it, Bucky? Because it's downhill.
Oh, yeah,
it's super fast. So that's the one time where you really load the car up, isn't it? When you transfer hard.
It is. Coming downhill towards us where we are is probably the hardest braking point, and it's on tarmac, so the cars are gripping up.
Might well be the hardest braking point of the season. We've yet to see the track, of course, at Gateway, but with it being such a long downhill stretch.
I thought I saw something broke, but maybe it was just him giving all the steering angle.
I wonder if he put one wheel on the grass on the run down. We'll have a look in the replays. Hopefully we'll catch that. But Fraser McConnell leading this one after several bits of contact. I'm looking at ARX2. We're seeing Sage Karam. Yeah, so we're seeing McConnell and Karam's contact is under investigation. So McConnell and Karam under investigation for that contact on the first lap.
I don't know, where the Stewarts kind of think that they kind of fixed it themselves by Fraser kind of over retaking the lead.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? I mean, Fraser ran at the back of Karam, didn't he? Karam got a clean pass. Fraser ran into the back of him in that corner, which you could argue wasn't allowed, but he then kind of, when Karam was up the inside, he didn't really resist him into here, and then Karam made his own mistake on the next lap. So it's tough, really. You kind of think if they finish where they were after the incident, the stewards can step in. But now if they step in, it's a bit like, well, you know, I don't know. Well, look, McConnell takes it from Sage Karam. DeBerti goes through as well. Really, the fact remains that whatever the stewards are going to have to make a fast decision, because if they're going to penalise at the minute, Fraser. Oh,
what's this?
Sage Karam's not happy. So Sage Karam gives Fraser McConnell a nudge on the way back around the in-lap. Unless he thought they were still racing, but that didn't look like that to me, Bucky. That looked like a, hello, I'm not over the moon with you.
Yeah, he was looking to touch, a little touchy touch.
Well, there was more than a little touchy touch in that one. Or Karam comes around the outside and shuts the door. So Sage Karam not impressed with Fraser McConnell, but that, you know, this is Rallycross. He's going to have to get used to maybe a tiny bit more contact than we see in single-seaters. But it is under investigation. So Fraser McConnell takes P1 in Semi-1 from Sage Karam and Brad DeBerti. Gray Ledbetter won't make the final today. She's got another attempt tomorrow. But McConnell and Sage, if they do anything, I reckon they'll give him a 5-second penalty and drop him to P2. But that would drop him from row 1 to row 2. So the stewards have got a big decision to make, because it's going to be the difference between the TQ man Fraser being on pole or on row 2. And Sage Karam potentially could go up to pole. Let's take a look back at that one. So this was the start, nice and clean, Bucky, no worries. But it's the contact later in the lap after the Jokers, isn't it, that we want to see?
Yeah, it was after the Joker. Probably lap 2 or 3.
I'm trying to think what order they went, because Karam goes lap 2, doesn't he? And Fraser goes lap 3, and then it's the merge after that. So this is those guys close together. So Sage Karam at this point is probably thinking, right, okay, 5-second penalty for McConnell's just come through from race control.
And I would imagine it's for what we're about to see.
Yeah, so wait for the merge. Here goes McConnell. So, Bucky, talk us through this. McConnell's going to come off the merge, and he'll see Karam.
Here we go, right here. He gets over the back rear of him. It looks like he was trying to find his braking zone, like how hard and how late can I brake?
I think he dropped it on the brakes. I don't think he hit him with any malice, did he? And then this was Karam passing him back. At this point, you go, well, look, the stewards don't even need to intervene because it's gone back the other way. Then Karam made a mistake. Is that contact there again later in the race? Where's the mistake from Karam? It'll be at the braking zone. Here,
right
watch
here.
this.
This is what I thought he had. Yeah, see it? See his front right? Was he just correcting a...
I don't know.
I think he was correcting a braking overbrake.
Contact again there, and contact again here. So, well, which contact it was, I don't know. But McConnell, 5-second penalty is going to drop him to row 2. James Rimmer is with him now.
Raz, that was quite the battle out there. How did it go? I mean, it looks like he cut the course out there. I know it's still under investigation, but what was your view on that?
Yeah, I know. I mean, the car was a bit braking issues, but yeah, he was in front of us. We were chasing him down. He made the mistake, and we capitalized, and that's what we're here to do.
I'm just hearing that you've been given a 5-second penalty.
Wow.
All right, well, we'll leave you be for now, and let's get back to Andrew and Bucky.
Well, you don't need to be a psychologist to figure out that.
I wonder if he was thinking like for which incident. You know? Like, I bet you that's probably what he was thinking.
Maybe he's thinking, "Wow, got off lightly." There was a lot. There was a lot of contact.
I personally think it was for driving over the rear wheel.
Stay with us, because we're going to have round 2 of that coming up when they go up against each other in the final. So we've got another semi-final to go. Let's take a look at the grid for semi-final 2. On the front row, Alex Keys and Cole Keats, these guys with a lot of Rallycross experience. And on row 2, J.R. Hildebrand, nowhere near as much experience in Rallycross, but my goodness me, we know this guy can wheel a car. So they're lined up on the grid. Go on, Bucky. You spoke to J.R., didn't you? You said that literally 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, he's having a hard time squeezing in that thing.
Yeah, he's a tall dude. So Henk de Winter is down there talking to him. I wonder if that's about lining up for the jump start sensors. He's quite happy to be where he is. When the lights go green on those jump start sensors, it means they're 12 centimetres away, which is like the regulation distance. If you want to be further back than that, that's fine. And basically, I think what he's saying is, look, I don't want to roast the clutch trying to move it forward 1 centimetre to gain nothing. You know, these 3 are going to make it through. But again, you can see from Fraser's reaction how much it means to be on the front row or row 2, and that's what this is as well. So Keys versus Keats, better start from Keats, but Keys is on the inside line. Keats is going to hold that line. Keats can't squeeze him there, so Keats has got the whole shot. Keats backs out of it nicely, so Keats has been sensible there because he's given himself a P2 straight away.
Yeah, he has. So now all Hildebrand has to do is try to reel in these guys stick to Keats. Maybe take the Joker if he feels like he's gaining on Keats. Take the Joker now.
Oh,
Keats took the Joker.
Yeah, so Keats went Joker, and Hildebrand was going to go, wasn't he?
was going to go.
He changed his mind in a split second. So J.R. Hildebrand looking to move up to row 2. It's going to depend now whether or not he's faster. Bucky, if he thinks he's faster, he might stay out for a few laps more and try to gap him. If he thinks he's not as fast, he will react on the next lap.
Man, that's all up into the spotter's eyes and ears right now. So I personally don't know why Keats took the Joker so early. I don't feel like he was close enough that the dust was really going to affect him. It probably would have been nice for him to kind of hang behind and see some of
what's going on with Keys
driving.
Yeah, exactly. See some of Keys out front.
Keys.
So now Keats is catching up. Look at the way Keats has got the nose of the car so tight in, particularly on the loose, managing to keep the nose of the car in super tight. J.R. Hildebrand now has got a decision to make. He either responds or so continues. So J.R. is going to continue. You can see him moving the car around there on the brakes. Nice to see Head getting around the technique for these things. Keats with a bit of a push on through that long right-hander. We haven't actually seen the off-camber corner cause as many issues as I thought it might.
No, and Keats has definitely reeled in JR.
So Keats is on the back of JR, so this is really about Keys. Now, of course, this could play out badly for Keats, because if JR decides not to joke until lap 6, which he's perfectly entitled to do, that's going to hold up. That's going to hold up Keats. Keys chucking the car left and right. On the gas up towards the top of the track. Oh, Hildebrand taking a slightly wider line through there. Keats is keeping it super tight. It's Hildebrand, and he doesn't. Okay, so this is now going to cost Keats, Bucky.
Look at this. I'm quite surprised to see JR kind of hanging it out there and Keats keeping it tidy.
Yeah.
But I think JR is just having a blast.
Yeah, the guys seem to be. That braking zone is bumpy, isn't it, now? You can see that. I suspect there'll be a few track repairs overnight. The rest of the track, I have to say, has held up absolutely brilliantly, considering the weather that's been around mid-Ohio recently. Hildebrand's super late on the brakes at the end of that long, long straight. So now Keats is going to be thinking, come on, out the way, please, out the way. He's costing him, you know, he wanted to close down the gap, and he's plus 5.9. So Keys, in some ways, Bucky, if I were Keys, I might go now just to get it in the bank, get the Joker done early doors.
I don't think it really matters to Keys anymore. I think Keats kind of ruined his race by taking the Joker too soon. Hildebrand
goes now, so that releases Keats. So we'll have to keep an eye on Keats' lap times compared to Keys. But I mean, Keys has been doing 52.5, 52.1. So I mean, he was nearly, he was more than a second quicker on that last lap, Keys was, than Keats when Keats was in traffic. Hildebrand has come out quite close behind. Alex sporting a plain white bumper, which the Cooper tyre stickers there, Bucky. You know, that's affecting my OCD, the way those have been applied. Somebody
has, crooked for you.
Somebody has applied. Look at the height of them. Somebody has applied those. You know what I mean? Okay, here's the deal. Either two people applied them, didn't they? Like one on the left and one on the right, and they did not talk to each other, or they were like, "We're in a rush, man. We need to get the Cooper tyre branding on there. You know, the partner of the series. You have to run the branding on there. This is the Cooper tyres, you know, ARX of Mid-Ohio, so it's got to be on there." But yeah, man, they're going to have to restick those.
Some technical balancing thing.
You think,
yeah,
like
too.
Stagger, yeah? They've got some stagger on the car.
Maybe left side's a little heavier than the right, and some balancing going on.
Well, whichever side is heavier, Keys has jokered with a lap to go, and he's clearly out in front, so barring any technical issues, Keys is going to take this one. Buck, are you seeing anyone here? I mean, I think Keys is quick enough to threaten Karam and McConnell. What do you think?
I do. Look at how he runs in clean air.
Yeah.
Totally different driver in clean air. He can see.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Look at that. Look at the bumps and the dips and how
super tidy, keeping that nose in tight again.
There's Blue Groove setting up.
Let's see him on the brakes here. This is that bumpy section.
Really tough here.
Yeah, you just see it there, don't you? It's just the one lump. You can also see how thin the panels are, can't you?
I just saw the rock take out that front bumper just now.
Yeah. Well, they might have to redo those decals then, might they? Another bumper tomorrow. There we go then, Keys coming around the last corner. And it is Alex Keys who takes semi-final number 2. P2 is going to go to Cole Keats. And P3 to JR Hildebrand. So we knew the guys would go through. We weren't sure what order they would go through in. As it goes, they've gone through in the order in which they qualified. So it's going to be Alex Keys versus Sage Karam on the front row of the grid for the final here. Day 1, ARX Mid-Ohio. Alex Keys takes it, 5:23.2. Interesting, Sage Karam's time was 5:31, Bucky. So, okay, there was a bit of a battle between him and McConnell, but I don't know if there was 8 seconds lost there. It's hard to tell. So, Keys looking very strong indeed in this one. Here's Keys off the line with Keats alongside. And at this point, this is where Keats is sensible and just backs out.
Yeah, there's nothing to gain on the outside there. Not unless you're close enough that you can actually get turn 2.
He took that early joker, didn't he? And I kind of feel that maybe cost him any chance
I totally
to try and take the
agree.
win.
I totally agree. Him taking the joker so early took him out of the race.
Caught up almost to Hildebrand. Certainly lost some time there. There he is through the right. But tidily done. Alex Keys takes it. Looking super fast. 8 seconds faster. Okay, so I've seen another message on. ARX2 semi-final 1. We're seeing Sage Karam repositioned for shortcutting. So I have no idea. Keys. Okay, so Keys takes semi-final 2. That's cool. Our timing screen's just here. So there's a message which says 5-second penalty for Fraser McConnell, which we knew was under investigation. Now there's another message saying that Sage Karam is going to be repositioned for shortcutting. Now that's where Fraser went up the inside but hit him. And
but
then
how
he
do you?
cut the corner.
Where's the penalty at then?
I don't know. When
Like,
they say
we need to know
reposition.
where the penalty is.
Yeah,
because the penalty may have caused him cutting the corner.
Yeah. Okay, so James is with. I think he's with Alex Keys. He is. Let's go and see James.
Alex, that seemed like a little bit of a cakewalk. You knew none of you guys were not going to make it to the finals. So I know your strategy going in was probably just to conserve, the energy, but you looked really fast out there.
Yeah, no, it was good. Like I said before the race, if you get out there on your own, you can find that flow, and that's what I found while I was out there, and it was really good. Car's good. Tried to save a little bit at the end once I knew I had a big gap because we got the final coming up pretty close, so just tried to make sure everything was okay, and good start for the main.
Great. Well, we won't hold you. We'll let you go get ready for the final. Good luck.
Fans waiting for just one more race. I say it could be quite a race, Bucky, looking at the pace of Alex Keys, but particularly the needle going on between Sage Karam and Fraser McConnell. We're going to take a look at that instant. So let's take a look at the instant between Sage Karam and Fraser McConnell. And when we say instant, we felt there were quite a few. So Fraser's dropped it on the brakes there, Bucky.
Right, pushes him out and makes Sage actually miss the chicane there, the tires. So where's the penalty? We see Sage's penalty, so maybe this is Fraser's. So would this be Fraser's?
I think that pass is clean. I think Fraser's got the 5 for running up the back of it, regardless of whether. I mean, Fraser didn't drop it on purpose on the brakes. He's made a mistake.
But you can see him trying to find it. You can see him trying to find it.
He's no, and it's horrible when you know you're going to collect the car in front. You're like, oh no, because you don't mean to. You want to get close to them, but you don't want to collect them.
No, you don't. I mean, you want to touch them. You don't want to drive over the back of them.
Let them know you're there. Well, that was what happened, of course, on the run back in. Karam then was like dunk dunk on the way back into the paddock, wasn't he, behind Fraser McConnell?
See, I'm a little confused on the penalties. They kind of went back and forth.
Yeah, well, as you said,
and I'm not sure which one they gave.
Yeah, if Fraser's penalty was for pushing Sage off, then you can't really penalise Sage for cutting the track.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, this isn't our decision. Yeah, it's not
up to these guys.
Yeah, that's above our pay grade, and luckily, that's one stress we haven't got to cope with. Another dog, third dog of the day. That dog, what's he got there? Is that like a bone? He's brilliant. Good stuff. Dog just chilling.
Toy.
They've got no idea they're on the big screen with the dog. If you're bringing a dog tomorrow, bring a sign or something so we know the name.
It looks like it's got some. I don't even know the breed of that dog.
No. Cool though. People starting to get themselves ready for a soiree, a little evening drink maybe, perhaps a barbecue. Lots of people staying over here in their RVs, camping out for the weekend. First time Rallycross has ever been to Mid-Ohio. Brand new circuit, brand new sport, of course, for a lot of people. It's been around for a very long time in Europe. The World Championship's been around for 6 years, and ARX into its second year. There has been a bit of Rallycross over in the States prior to that as well. So we're glad that everyone is embracing the sport. James is down with Brad DeBerti, who is already on the pre-grid. Let's have a word with him now.
Brad, you've had a great weekend so far. You must be happy with yourself. You're going into the final now. You obviously have a good starting position. What's the strategy?
Yeah, I'm so happy today. It started out really rough for me, and I was able to pick it up, and now I'm starting to feel the car and feel what I need to do to make the car work and where it's happy. And so really just the goal is I just got to race this smart. I know we're not starting, on the preferred place, but I just have to watch the people in front of me and adjust as they do and see what I could do to pick up on their mistakes when they make a mistake, and so that's kind of the whole goal is finish clean, finish the race number one, and learn.
Definitely, and obviously these semis and these finals are 2 laps longer. Do you see any difference in that with how you drive it? Do you conserve energy at the beginning and then drive a little harder at the end, or is it pretty thorough throughout?
No, I mean, I'm used to racing, hundreds of laps in cars, and so I've taught myself to really just be consistent all the way through. So I don't really have emotion when I race. I'm not happy, sad, or mad. I'm just in the zone. So it's for me, it's all the same. It could be 50 laps. I'd race the exact same way.
Thanks, Brad. Well, if you see here, Andrea's going to come around the side here. Brad has actually added his name to my car here in Sharpie. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but he's written his name with a smiley face, which I know he wasn't going to point out until after the race. But no, we'll give him a pass this time. Thanks, Brad.
Hey, I'm super happy that you've seen that.
All right, we're gonna go right over to Sage Karam here. He's actually right here. He's sitting in his car, and we're going to talk a little bit about that incident with Fraser. Hey, Sage, how's it going?
Not bad.
That last race, I know you and Fraz had some contact. I haven't seen a replay yet, but the guys up in the booth are a little bit confused. They're saying, the penalties that were handed out and the place positions. What's your view on that?
He drove me off the track and then never gave me a lane to get back on, so I had no choice but to go around the barrel. I had a really good joker lap, and I think that's what got us back in front of him. And then I think he got upset and he drove straight into me. And then my car was damaged, and I came down here the next lap and locked him up. And we had more contact through here again. But I'm not mad about that contact, the second bit, but the first bit when he just came out of nowhere, lunged me, pushed me off the track, and then literally gave me no room to get back on. And I'm not going to hit a big barrel of tires, So I did what I only could do. I was the leader. It was my corner. He had no right to even be inside of me like that. But they gave me a penalty for it, which, okay, we're going to go race it. So, he's been driving everybody like that today. So I don't even know where I start, probably second row. And I think he'll be on the front row, so I'll be looking forward to him doing that to the leader.
Yeah, so you're saying that lockup on the back straight there, that was something to do with mechanical stuff. It wasn't just too hard on the brakes.
Yeah, no, when he got into me, my steering just went all bent out of shape, and I broke pretty normally, but it just really locked up the rears. And then I don't know how I kept it on the track. The thing was about to spin out, and I just went full throttle. And, all-wheel drive is a pretty amazing thing. Straightened the thing back out and tried to hold him off and thought I had it. And, and then I got hit again. So it's really rough out there as far as, the racing's concerned. But, that's Rallycross. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun for sure. I just I want to win. I'm a competitor. I want to win. Every time I get in a car, whether it's a race car, a rally car, an Indy car, a lawnmower, it don't matter. I want to win. So we're going to give it our best shot here.
Thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Even a lawnmower he wants to win on. That's
he should come to my house and cut my grass then.
Go, I'm racing you honest. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
actually I wasn't. But thanks
See
for
if you
cutting
can
them.
beat my time.
I think what's key there actually. Okay, so I think when he sees the replays and sees Fraser lunged him, I know what you mean, but I don't actually think Fraser did lunge him. Fraser dropped it on the brakes.
Yeah.
But that not making excuses for Fraser. The rest of the contact, I like the fact that he gets that. For me, again, all the rest of the contact was completely cool. Like it's Rallycross, it was pretty firm.
Yeah.
But there was nothing there untoward.
No,
And
not at all.
basically his motivation for being annoyed is he just desperately wants to win. Like yesterday, he was like, "Oh, I don't know how I'm going to go on the gravel," and now he's like, "I want to win. I'm going to watch him. I'm going to want it. You know, like I can't wait for this."
It's going to be insane.
It is.
Well,
it is.
let's see how they line up. I'm actually kind of interested.
Yeah,
to see
me
how
too.
they line up.
We've just got repositioned on the timing screen, and
all
I'm
the
waiting to
penalties
see if we get any messages through from ARX2 grid for the final. Hold on, I've just had this come through on my phone from the timing guys. So we have got. Well, the grid is showing me. The grid is showing us as Alex Keys and Sage Karam on the front row. Then Fraser McConnell and Cole Keats. So I have no idea. Unless what they've done is, I wonder if they've moved Sage across to P2 as a penalty. Do you see what I mean? So they've penalised Sage at one grid position rather than one row. So Fraser's got the penalty, which puts him on row 2, and then maybe they've given Sage the penalty, which puts him on the outside instead of the inside. But I have to say, I've got quite a lot of experience of covering Rallycross now, and I'm not quite sure how they've done this in terms of the penalties. But there we go. That's the job of the stewards, and it is a tough gig, Bucky. It's not one that I'll be rushing to do anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm a little confused, but when it all comes down, it's just like what Sage said.
Yeah.
Let's just see a winner.
Yeah. He's gonna go for it. Dirtfish guy's doing a bit of re-prep on some cars. We've just seen a fair bit of action, as you've seen from the last couple of minutes footage from down there on the pre-grid. We've got some cars that have seen some contact, front, rear, side. Now we're going to see how they line them up. So the cars are starting to roll up to the grid. Sage Karam, the first guy to go to the grid, and now he's going to find out. You see, the marshal's saying to him P2, and Sage is like, what? Road 2? P2? He's like, I don't get it. Where he qualified, let me see, Sage qualified 3rd, Alex qualified 2nd. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll let you know tomorrow. Doesn't matter. This is where they are on the grid.
Doesn't
there
matter.
There is a rule or a steward's ruling, which is...
It's not how you got here, it's that you're here.
Yeah, we got 6 cars in the final, and they're going to go for it. Now, of course, Bucky as well. This is the first time that tactics really come into play, because 6 cars in the final. You know, if you get your joker lap wrong, you could stand to lose 2 or 3 positions, and you can't now. You know, you looking at traffic, you've got to get it done at the right time.
You do. The spotter's got to be on it for sure. And I have not seen a water truck come out, so it is going to be dirty and dusty.
It looks dusty, doesn't it, on the run
it
down?
looks dusty.
Down from the jump, which we can see from here. So Alex Keys in a great position here on pole. Round 1 of 9. Double headers last year for ARX2, but this year I say the calendar has increased. There are 6 rounds for ARX. ARX have got 1 double header. So at Gateway Motorsport Park, the ARX guys will do 3 qualifying sessions, semis, and a final on each day. So if you come to Gateway, you're in for a real weekend of action. Gateway Motorsport Park in around a month's time. Head to ARXRallycross.com. I think tickets are on sale already, so don't miss out. It's going to be a fantastic double-header weekend. All the action both days for ARX2 and ARX. And then I think it's, well, we've got COTA and Canada. COTA's a 1-day event, so they'll only do 3 sessions each there. Canada, they'll be with the drivers from the World Rallycross Championship, and I'm really keen to compare the times with the top cars from the World Championship and the top cars from ARX.
Now those cars have a weight. The American cars have a weight.
They did have a penalty last year,
right?
didn't they?
30
which was
pounds?
Different between, it was, I think, last year.
Like
yeah,
30
it was a
pounds?
slight difference between them. And of course, they won't race in the same heats, will they? They'll race in their own competitions. But I'm just a bit, you know, I'm a bit of a geek, and I'm looking forward to seeing. Basically, I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, whether the Subaru, you know, and Arpin's car and the Volkswagen have developed ahead of the pace of the World Championship, because, you know, our factory teams have disappeared, which has been great. We've had some brilliant racing in the World Championship as a result. We've had 3 different winners in the first 4 events. You know, we've got a bunch of cars that are on the pace. So
Much
I'm
better
really
racing, actually,
it's been
this
great,
year.
hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Bucky was watching Timur Timazyanov win in Spa. I think everyone was pretty stoked on that. Timur would have raced with you, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I've raced with him a few times.
Rallycross? Yeah, but I saw American Rallycross previously. What was he in the Chevy back then? Was it a Chevy?
No, he was in a Ford, I believe.
Right. Did he race? Was it a Dart that he raced? I can't remember. Did he not race that? He's been in a number of different cars over here, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's been in a couple of different cars.
He did a bit of ice racing this winter. So that's Gray Ledbetter's car is there because she's the reserve driver. So if one of these guys doesn't make it, we always have a reserve car. But once you get to the start, so for instance, if there was a red flag after the start, you wouldn't then put the reserve in. The reserve only goes in prior to the first start. So if J.R. Hildebrand doesn't make the start, and he does, you'll see him roll into the back of your shot now. So JR is going to pull up on the back of the grid. And these guys have had such a short turnaround as well.
Yeah, too short. Too short. How long was that? 15 minutes, maybe? 10 minutes?
Yeah, very tight indeed.
Imagine if he had damage.
Yeah, and
No one
hence,
really.
of course, Gray sitting there waiting just in case she gets the opportunity.
Now, did Sage or McConnell go back to their pits?
Didn't see, have to say, didn't see whether...
Because I'm sure they needed to make some adjustments on those cars.
Would have been a bit, there was certainly
With
a bit
all
of
the
damage
contact.
on Karam's car, wasn't
Yeah.
there? So. Right, here we go then. It's time for the first final of 2019. ARX2, round one from the Cooper Tires ARX of Mid-Ohio. Alex Keys on the pole, Sage Karam doing brilliantly, making the switch to Rallycross for this weekend. Row 2, Fraser McConnell, we saw a brilliant fight between him and Sage Karam in the semi-final. There's some payback there for sure. Cole Keats alongside Fraser. And on row 3, Brad DeBerti, again, joining Rallycross this weekend along with J.R. Hildebrand. So we've got 3 guys here who are brand new to this sport and 3 who are a little bit more experienced. This is going to be fantastic. Marshall's going to give these guys a thumbs up, and then we're going to get 6 cars on the hustle up to turn 1. The most we've seen into turn 1 for the rest of the weekend has been 4 cars during the qualifying sessions.
Watch McConnell.
Yeah, he's got
Inside
a gap there, hasn't he?
Inside second row. Look at McConnell.
So McConnell with the Jamaican flag on the front was the TQ man, but he had a great fight with Karam, who's on the outside of row 1. Oh, brilliant start, Fraser McConnell. Absolutely fantastic up the inside of Sage Karam straight away. But it is Keats. He's going to get down to turn 1 first. Keys down to turn 1 first, runs wide. McConnell's going to try and look up the inside. Keys comes back in, hits McConnell. Up the inside, then Cole Keats has gone through to P2. So it's Keys, then Keats. McConnell's in P3. Can't even see who's in P4 thanks to the dirt. There you can see McConnell right up underneath Keats as they come up towards the top of the circuit. Oh Keys! That's Karam into the back. That was payback, surely into the back of McConnell. Nothing comes of it though, so Karam goes around the outside, and I actually think that's a brilliant joker move there from Sage Karam. He lifts a wheel on the way back in, but with these guys in traffic, Bucky, I think that's a great move by Karam.
It possibly could be. Look at how bad the vision is right now. So I'm not sure where he came in. Let's see where he is.
Sage Karam is in P5. I think Hildebrand is behind him. So Sage Karam is in P5. Fraser McConnell is up behind Keats, but it is Keys who leads. So Keys out front with a decent margin. I have to say, looking at the pace behind it, if you were Keys, he's got a bit of time here. This is the guy I'd be watching out for. If I was Keys' spotter, I'd be looking at Karam's lap times.
He doesn't have anyone holding him up in front of him. He's got sort of clean air. He can see at least.
And neither Keats or McConnell goes joker. Yeah, so DeBerti, I guess these guys are going to hope, aren't they, that Karam's going to catch up with DeBerti, which he has done in the background. That might cost him some time. Oh, McConnell having a look at Keats.
McConnell's being held up by Keats.
Is he going to hit in? Oh, McConnell holds on to the brakes this time. Big push. Oh, Keats right out over the cross as well. These guys are trying super hard for the podium position. Sage Karam was jokered really early. So Sage Karam, the only driver to joker so far. A little bit of contact again there. Looked like in the second to last corner. Oh, McConnell's broken the steering. Fraser McConnell breaks the steering, clips the tyre stack, and he's out. Fraser McConnell, you saw the wheel. So McConnell is gone. So that's one more place up for Sage Karam. There's the car parked side of the road. He's gutted. Fraser's gutted, you can see. He's so fast today. I'm gutted for him too, and I really believe that the lock-up in the semi was a lock-up, but it's gone. He'll reset for tomorrow. Into the joker lap goes Keats, going to come around the outside. This is surely to protect from the inside DeBerti and Karam. Watch for the merge, Karam versus Keats. Keats is going to shut the door, but he's going to go in between them. That's a great call by the spotter. Keats up the inside, DeBerti down into this corner. A little bit on the handbrake, maybe clips the bar on the inside.
He got away with it.
And Karam's going to get DeBerti. Karam up the inside of DeBerti. Sure, he's going to get him on the brakes at the end of this straight now.
He's got the position.
Sage Karam late on the brakes up the inside. Now he's going to know that he's got to pass Keats if he wants to take that position back. DeBerti hasn't jokered yet, so Karam guaranteed a podium unless he has a problem. Runs the car super close to the barrier.
Yeah, don't get too close. You saw what happened to Fraser. I like how Sage is driving right now. He is all over Keats. Keats is all over the place. I think he sees an opportunity. I think he's going to see an opportunity pretty soon here.
Oh, okay, go on, have a look.
Look at Keats.
Have a look. That's what we want to see.
Really
he's having a look up the
overdriving.
inside onto the dirt. Karam's gone up the inside. We're looking at the Joker, and I think Karam's made a pass on the inside. He has. Sage Karam got past Keats. You saw him line him up. He's passing everywhere, Bucky. The dirt, the tarmac, the Joker lap.
Sage is on one right now. He is killing it.
So Sage Karam has managed to pass Cole Keats. Alex Keys out front has a huge lead, and in theory, Alex is miles out in front. So Karam getting caught up in that battle. DeBerti, look, is inside as well. So DeBerti's inside.
Keats has got a problem.
He's got a puncture.
He's beaten.
I think he's got a rear right puncture looking at it.
Yeah, he's got a tyre off the rim.
He has. So he's pushed a tyre off the rim. That's a great shame for Keats, and that's, of course, giving those drivers behind a little bit more opportunity to get past. So there we go. Keats going backwards. Unlucky for him. Karam up in P2 then. Oh. So that you said, didn't you, he's all over the road on the previous lap.
He must have been gone. The tyre must have been gone down from contact.
So Alex Keys has been absolutely untroubled in this after a great run in the semi-finals. Keys qualified P2, 4th in Q1, 3rd in Q2, and 1st in Q3.
He did some aero design work on the front bumper there. He created a splitter.
Taking a little piece out the centre there. Got another lap to go, going to want to keep it nice and tidy. Super smooth through this section now. Bucky's probably going to give each of these tyre stacks just 6 inches, isn't he now?
Yeah, he's not going to be as close. The risk is too high to touch those things with all the bumps upsetting the car, and it's really hard to be so accurate now that the track is kind of falling away.
Yeah. Nice drive up round the gravel hairpin at the top. We've seen a few people run wide on. You see it's just blue grooving a little bit there, isn't it, on the exit? This is the section here which I think is the most bumpy as they come down.
It's blue grooving, but it's got that loose surface dirt on top of it, which actually it's worse. It's like driving on marbles.
Yeah. Keys then down the final straight has improved all weekend long. Results have been better and better in each session. Won the semi-final easily and has come into what was a tough final. Alex Keys wins round 1 of the ARX2 Series 2019 with a brilliant drive. And in P2 over the line now, Sage Karam takes 2nd place. So Sage Karam, fantastic. On his Rallycross debut, has taken 2nd place. 3rd place goes to Brad DeBerti. So DeBerti takes P3 on his Rallycross debut. We've got 2 completely new Rallycross drivers on the podium, but it's Alex Keys who wins round 1. Great stuff, Bucky.
Amazing race. We saw everything. We saw passing. We saw some annihilation.
Retirement for McConnell. Like, I'm gutted for Fraser because I would have liked to. Well, actually gutted for us. We could have seen a brilliant battle there if he hadn't retired. But they're going to do it all again tomorrow, so no worries. Keys opens the door and receives the applause of the crowd here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. He's our first winner of 2019, taking round 1 of the ARX2 Series. Alex Keys, 4.7 seconds ahead of Sage Karam and Brad DeBerti, who round out our podium. J.R. Hildebrand is 4th, Cole Keats 5th, and Fraser McConnell with a DNF. Great stuff. So this was the start then. McConnell gets up the inside here. Keys is out front. Look, Keats trying to come round the outside. So Karam gets run wide there. Where does Fraser end up? Fraser gets a little nudge look on the turn 2. So he's now wide and Keats gets up the inside. So he's in P3 now. Karam runs into the back of McConnell here, watch.
Yeah.
Straight into the back of him, but then carries that speed. I wonder if he was always intending. So Karam and Hildebrand went Joker 1, and actually for Karam that was definitely the best result.
And there's the clip by McConnell. Just asking a little too much out of that corner.
You can see in the car how disappointed the Jamaican is, but he's a brilliant drive today. Won 2 sessions, had a great fight in that semi-final, and we're looking forward to that tomorrow. This is Keats versus DeBerti on the run down the hill. DeBerti on the outside. Keats, look at that, nudges the barrier. Karam then comes around the inside, and Keats there, the tyre was already off, I think. Karam up the inside of DeBerti. Some absolutely great racing. Keats is just hanging on at this point, isn't he?
Yeah, it's definitely debated there, as you can see him drifting that whole corner there.
Yeah, fantastic. Karen there slotted right. And this was De Berti coming past Keats as well. So not ideal for Keats with a puncture in the final. It was ideal for Keys. He takes round 1 of ARX2. Great stuff. A brilliant first day of ARX and ARX2, but some fantastic racing there. I'm looking forward to those guys have another go tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to go pick some brains tonight, before tomorrow. I'm going to go pick some brains and see what these guys have to say.
So, yeah, find out.
I know they probably have.
You're just going to go and wind them up, aren't you, Bucky, basically?
Maybe.
Apply some pressure for tomorrow. We're all good with that. Now, hopefully you guys can join us for tomorrow as well. Of course, we've got Q3 and Q4 of America's Rallycross coming up tomorrow before their semi-finals and their final. And we've got a whole nother event for ARX2. So we're going to see them do Q1, Q2, Q3, semis and finals like they have done today. Bottom of your screen there, 10:05 Eastern Standard Time is for ARX qualifying 3. Qualifying 4, 11:25. Just going to roll them all in the bottom there so you can just see when they are. Bucky, we're seeing the potential for a thunderstorm tomorrow.
Yeah. And we're not very covered over here. And we're high. We're very high.
I kind of think we might need a jacket.
So I welcome the weather as far as racing goes, but as far as viewing it, not so much.
No, we've got some stuff up here to cover our kit. We just haven't quite figured out what's going to cover us. So if you see me and Bucky wearing a black plastic sack tomorrow, don't be surprised, basically. Right, let's take a look at the championship standings after round 1 of ARX2. At the top of the table is Alex Keys on 29 points from Sage Karam on 25. Fraser McConnell, 22. Keats and De Berti are on 20 apiece. Hildebrand is on 18 and Gray Ledbetter on 13. Seeing the rescue vehicles head back to their wherever they park them overnight.
Which one of these do you think has the coldest refrigerator?
I don't know.
That's where I'm going.
That guy, there's a dude there with 2 awnings, far left-hand side, which I quite liked. I think he would have a good refrigerator. That's my thought. That place on the right that sells ice cream, I spotted that yesterday. That could be a good place for us to head.
I'll watch you eat it.
No, you're not. Yeah, not a big fan. No.
I can't do it.
Fair enough.
Lactose intolerant.
Oh yeah.
I mean, on a good night maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, not today then.
Fair game.
Andretti fans up at the top of the course. We can hear some people shrieking. They've obviously had a good day. It's been pretty windy today.
Some fans leaving the venue.
Yeah. Really wondering what will happen tomorrow. If it's like this tomorrow, cool. I have to say, if it's wet, I think the racing will be, intense. You know, there's off camber. You know, we've got these downhill sections. We've got a lot of dirt, which is going to, if it rains,
uphill start.
Yeah, and if it rains, the
Downhill
dirt will
braking.
get dragged onto all of the tarmac. So you just end up with an ice rink, Bucky.
Yeah, it becomes a grease pit.
We don't mind, except for that's cool. TP, there we go. Good tent.
You have a tent?
I do. Yeah. Not for.
I got like 4 or 5 of them.
Have you? Yeah.
If you ever need one.
Okay, thanks, dude. Maybe we should camp out next time. That's nice. Look, the lights across the front there. UTVs
dog.
as well. Look.
Oh
yeah, he's got a dog.
More
dog,
dogs.
Yeah. They got. Is that an inflatable sofa?
That is.
A strong sofa dog game going on there. They know they're on the big screen. I think they're playing it cool. I think they know. Are they watching the feed down there? You guys got a TV underneath that umbrella? What's the dog's name?
That looked like a wine rhino.
Yeah?
Is that what it's called? Wine rhino?
I don't know.
Wine
What's
rhino.
that? Is that top of dog?
I'm trying to call these dogs out.
No, it's cool, Bucky. I like it. We'll get a spotter's guide up here, like a list of dogs. I'm sure there's a dude there. He's got a dog. Middle of your picture, left-hand side.
I don't know what that is.
Blue T-shirt.
It's like...
Yeah,
I don't even...
Maybe a Shih Tzu from a distance.
My friend Alfonso has a couple of those. I forget Shih Tzu or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
right?
that's it. Yeah, exactly.
I was afraid to say that on TV.
No, that's correct. Yeah,
okay.
It's correct. No, you're okay. You can say that. I think that's what it is. Tower in the background. That's where we'll be heading for the press conference in a minute with the guys from ARX2. I think we'll have one as well for the top 3 from ARX.
Did I tell you that my rental car has a handbrake?
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously that's for parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. You can probably tell we're waiting for the podium. Like, yeah, there's not too much going on now.
I was thinking like maybe a course preview or something.
Yeah?
After this.
We'll go and take the rental car to look around the...
Sweep.
Yeah, yeah.
Little sweep.
There we are. Look, that's a few more vehicles. There's a man in the background there who's got some sort of... there's a lady actually with a trolley. Look, that looks like that would be a beer receptacle on wheels. I could be wrong. Maybe soft drinks. A bunch of trucks leaving as well. Track inspection. So that's you can see actually how well this track has held up. I say there was torrential rain here during the build process a couple of days ago, and the guys here, Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, have worked really hard. They're sweeping out the loose stuff on the outside. Tim Whittington in the middle there from IMG, the rights holders for America's Rallycross and the World Rallycross Championship, just making sure that everything is as we need it. You know, we're serious about our motorsport, and we want good racing tomorrow. Only section of the track I think they might look at repairing, Bucky, is the run down the hill to the left, right onto the back straight.
Yeah,
It doesn't need
I'm digging
it
the guy in the gray shirt there, just his hand on the hip. Like, that looks... I want to be that guy.
Yeah, we're chilling, leaning against our little wall up here. Ooh. So they've taken the clamshell off the front of that. You can see some damage on the subframe there. That's kind of a bolt off under the bumper, front subframe. ARX2 cars are pretty easy to repair as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they all on bolt. You can see all the subframes just connected. Just a bunch of bits and pieces.
Fraz will be heading straight back across the Atlantic on a pretty similar flight path to me, because next weekend is round 5 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship from the delightfully named Hell in Norway. Yep, that's a real place. It's close to the town of Trondheim. It's very pretty. It's a very, very steep track. If you guys maybe only been watching America's Rallycross, and you need to make sure you're watching next weekend, you'll be able to see all the qualifying again from that live online, YouTube and Facebook, and then you can check where you can watch the finals. Over here in America, I believe it's Flow Sports you can watch the finals on. So we have ARX2, European Rallycross, and World Rallycross heading up there. So we've got 3 classes there. It's one of the classic Rallycross tracks. I have to say, I've enjoyed this one today. We've seen great opportunities for passing, which is, you know, it's always a good sign, Bucky, if you see, you know, the fact the Joker Lap, all motorsport is hard to overtake, isn't it? But the Joker Lap in Rallycross has given you that opportunity via tactics. But, you know, we've actually seen passing on track quite a lot today. Yeah,
and in these low-powered cars, I feel like when we get to the supercars, we're going to see even more excitement.
Especially if it rains.
Yeah.
Well, there we are.
Hey.
Hey, how are we doing? Still waiting for the podium. It's been a good first day. We hope you guys have enjoyed being with us for all the action. Bucky, you enjoyed it? Good to have you back.
I have. It's been entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Particularly that semi-final. I'll say Karam's going to be very pleased to have got the result P2 that he's got in the first race this weekend. Key's taking the win. DeBerti in third. Again, DeBerti, you know, so 2 Rallycross novices on the podium. Amazing.
Yeah, 2 newbies, 2 freshies, and they beat out some of the guys that have been running quite a few seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they'll be happy with that. We're going to go and interview them in a minute. We're feeling quite chilled. It's been quite a long day, I have to say. I've got a bit of jet lag.
Big highs for those guys.
Yeah.
I wonder how tomorrow's going to go, because it kind of has those moments where you're like, woo, I'm going to win a championship. And then it's like,
I've broken the steering. It's not gone how I thought it was going to go. How about this supercar down there off the jump at the end?
Send it right there?
Yeah. Why not?
Maybe one of the year cars I drove.
Was
Right
that
off into that one?
What was that noise? Is that thunder? Was that thunder? Now I'm just hearing wind through the microphone, reminding me of the wall in Game of Thrones. I mean, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, check for White Walkers.
I'm just looking down our wooden tower and hoping there's nothing too savage occurring. I really thought I heard thunder there. Maybe not. Maybe it was just wind on the mics.
I think it's wind.
Okay, all good. All good. Well, let us know. Get in touch. You can find ARX on all the usual social medias, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Find myself and Bucky Lasek on there as well. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. And I think we're maybe not going to be getting a podium. So Okay, well, many apologies. We've had our camera, which we use for the podium, has gone down. So that's
We're just going to race. Me and Andrew are just going to foot race down.
We're going to go and have a little run down and a little look around the track. Seriously, we hope you've had a great day today. Bucky, thanks ever so much. Great to have you with us. Join us again tomorrow. Say that we've got Q3, then we've got Q4 for ARX, followed by their semis and finals, and a whole another round of ARX2. Been a brilliant first day on a brand new Rallycross track at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Thank you. Good night. See you tomorrow.